Do you know where I am right now? Okay, I'll share a secret with you. I'm in the very, very secret former missile base. Now it's a museum. Let's go and check this place.
You can see this underground tunnel. Two officers had to open two huge doors, 700 kilograms each. Using an elevator, they went down to the 11th compartment. Inside, the silo is 45 meters deep, walls 6 meters metal, roof 121 tons. This roof consisted of two layers. It was concrete and wax. Why wax? Because it was cheap and didn't let radio beams come inside. Plus, this wax helped to keep the heat inside the silo. From satellites, they were invisible. It was impossible to find them. Under these hatches, they had 37 tons of ice to cool down everything inside. Under the container batteries, the same we use in our telephones or cameras for electricity. In the 12th compartment, food supplies for 45 days. If the sensors on top of the roof fix radiation, explosion or straight attack, this control center works in autonomous regime during 45 days and nights. It was possible to live here, but what happens with high levels of radiation in 45 days? Nothing. They will also die when they climb up, but they never thought about that. And they were not told how dangerous it was. But you can see the construction inside. The container is 33 meters, diameter 3 meters 30 centimeters, weight 125 tons. But this container doesn't stay on the ground like in our model. It is lifted using depreciation system. 125 tons lifted in the air. In case of the attack, they could jump 1 meter up and down, 70 centimeters left and right. That is why they were all the time dressed with safety belts. It was impossible to hurt them. In the 11th compartment, 2 officers had to stay on duty inside during 6 hours. 6 hours here, 6 hours on the ground to sleep, 6 hours on the ground to rest, and again. Our officers say if they spent in the army 20, 25 years, some of them 29, they spent 10, 15 underground. We will go down, you will see no so much space for one person. There were 2 or 3 inside. The compartments with equipment from the 1st to the 10th are nowadays closed according to agreement with Russia, because they still in Russia use the same control centers, and we are not allowed to show all the equipment we have inside. In the 12th compartment, only in emergency situations, 2-3 officers could stay together with these 2 on duty. It was a human factor. They didn't know how a person behaves who receives a real signal to launch rocket. If he refuses to push the button, the officer from the 12th compartment fires up and pushes the button for sure. But very often our listeners think they were bored doing nothing during 6 hours because from territory of Ukraine they never launched rockets. In reality, during 6 hours, every 7 seconds they received the signal to launch a rocket. Every 7 seconds you received the code, push, turn, push again, new code. The government force people on duty had to be like robots. They were not allowed to think. You receive the signal and you push, like a reflex. And it took them a couple of seconds to push all the buttons. And the model on the side of the rocket. The construction is completely the same, but length depended on the length of the rocket. The same roof, 121 tons, but this roof opened in 8 seconds and a half using hydraulic system. The device under the rocket with the gunpowder exploded and pushed this rocket in the air. This roof opened for 86 degrees. The rocket was in the air, roof closed under its own weight very, very quickly. They say from satellites, some countries knew the position of silos of the rockets. To destroy them, they had to drop the bomb inside. That roof never opened, so it was impossible to destroy the control center. In this case, everything was done so quickly, they couldn't fix from which side the rocket was launched. We don't speak about dropping the bomb inside, it was impossible. But all rockets on duty, they were like living beings. All computers worked day and night, and they had to control temperature and humidity inside the silo. They say it was possible to launch rockets even without people from a control center. They had targets and their computers and everything worked.